Nigerian Senate passes vote of confidence on security chiefs after national security interaction. Police arrest notorious kidnapper, recover 9 million naira ransom payment. Gas explosion rocks Lagos community. On the foreign scene, dozens die in Democratic Republic of Congo boat accident. Hello again and welcome to the Trust TV News update at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. We begin with the security update where the Nigerian Senate, after over 10 hours of closed-door session with ministers and service chiefs to discuss Nigeria's national security challenges, passed the vote of confidence in the managers of Nigeria's security architecture. The vote of confidence passed in the security chiefs by the Senate was read by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio.
The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, in reading the resolution of the Nigerian Senate, took the decision after listening to submissions made by the various security chiefs on the latest onslaughts against criminal elements in the country. The upper chamber of the National Assembly commended the President on his efforts towards addressing the security challenges bedeviling Nigerians across the country. The Senate also commended service chiefs and urged them to follow all the suggestions and revelations for further improvement of the security situation in the country.
The Senate listened to the comprehensive briefings by the National Security Advisor and briefings from the security chiefs on the state of the nation, particularly the state of security and insecurity, including reported issues of killings, kidnappings, and other criminal activities currently bedeviling the nation. The Senate then stressed the urgent need for the security agencies to adopt proper synergy in their operations to tackle the insecurity in the country.
Also speaking to journalists after the closed-door session of the Nigerian Senate, Senate spokesperson Senator Yemi Adaramodu offered further insight into the discussions at the executive session. Senator Adaramodu justified the vote of confidence passed on the service chiefs as he maintains that the Right Chamber of the National Assembly is impressed with the determination and proactive measures being put in place to mitigate security challenges.
We listened to them. They told us so many other issues. We related with them about our experiences and the experiences of our constituents, what they have been facing, samples of what had happened, the horrendous situations that Nigerians were, the parlous situations that Nigerians were. So examples of what happened even in Abuja here. So under the service chiefs, they even allayed our fears.
In attendance were Minister of Defense Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, his counterpart in the Ministry of Interior Olubumi Tunjiojo, and Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister Wale Edun. Other ministers are the State Minister of Defense Bello Matawale, the Minister of Police Affairs Ibrahim Gaidam, and the Minister of State for Police Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim. Security chiefs at the meeting include the Chief of Defense Staff, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director General of the DSS and the NIA.
Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustapha, revealed startling details on Tuesday regarding the illegal movement of $6.2 million from the Central Bank of Nigeria in February 2023 using a forged document. Mustapha disclosed this while testifying as the fourth prosecution witness in the ongoing fraud trial of the former CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, at the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Maitama, Abuja. Emefiele stands accused by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of orchestrating the illegal transfer by impersonating the SGF and fabricating a letter dated January 26, 2023, purportedly requesting the release of funds. Mustapha vehemently denied any involvement, stating that neither he nor his office authorized such a transaction. Furthermore, he disclaimed any association with Abubakar Jibril, alleged to have received the funds. Under cross-examination, Mustapha clarified that such transactions were not customary within his office and reiterated the absence of any memo authorizing payments to government agencies in this regard. Additionally, Ogu Michael, a deputy director at the CBN, confirmed authorizing the payment but admitted to not verifying the identity card used for the transaction, emphasizing adherence solely to payment instructions. The House of Representatives on Tuesday debated a bill seeking to raise the academic qualifications for positions of president, governors, and National Assembly members to a minimum of a bachelor's degree. However, the bill faced a temporary setback amid hostile opposition from some members of the House. The bill, sponsored by Oriyomi Onanuga, APC, Ogun State, sought to amend sections 65, 106, 131, and 171 of the 1999 Constitution. After 2 hours of debate on the floor of the House, the bill was stepped down by Mrs. Onanuga after members vehemently opposed the content of the bill. The federal government has retracted its earlier statement on the illegal aspect of the enhanced trade and investment partnership signed with the United Kingdom on Tuesday. This came following criticism from Nigerians over the perceived one-sided nature of the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the UK. The Nigerian Minister for Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka Anite, in a thread on X, retracted her earlier statement, emphasizing that there was no such legal agreement between Nigeria and the UK. The minister reiterated that Nigeria does not have a mutual recognition agreement with the UK and made no commitment under the MOU or elsewhere to allow UK licensed lawyers practice in Nigeria. On Tuesday, a statement by the UK's Department of Business and Trade and a tweet from Nigeria's Minister of Trade and Investment had disclosed that Nigeria was signing a deal to remove barriers preventing UK lawyers from practicing international law in Nigeria. The Nigerian Bar Association had also condemned the purported agreement, stating that the statement credited to the minister was ridiculous, unpatriotic, and uninformed. And on to security matters. The operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command have arrested 7 notorious wanted kidnappers and also recovered 9 million naira ransom cash. The police commissioner in FCT, Benneth Igwe, while parading the suspects at the command on Wednesday, said the wanted kidnappers were arrested by operatives of the Utako Police Division led by CSP Victor Godfrey in a coordinated operation at Tudunwada, Lugbe, and Piakasa area of Trademar. According to him, the suspects were linked to high-profile kidnapping cases in FCT and its environs, saying all the suspects have confessed to their crime and are given useful information to aid the arrest of other gang members. Still on security matters, armed bandits have abducted over 40 villagers, including 21 members of same family in Kasowar Daje village, Kaura Namoda local government area of Zamfara state. Reports said that the armed bandits stormed the village around 1 a.m. Tuesday for a revenge operation. According to the eyewitness, 21 members of the family of the former chairman of the NURTW, Alhaji Hamisu Kasowar Daji, which included his 2 wives, 13 children, a brother, and dependents were abducted by the bandits. He further confirmed that 2 policemen were killed during the unfortunate operation that lasted for 3 hours. Tragedy struck on Agbado Road in the Toyin area of Ifako Ijaye local government area of Lagos State as a gas explosion ravaged through the bustling streets. In the aftermath, 18 shops reduced to rubble, their contents devoured by the flames. According to Margaret Adesheye, director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, the catastrophe unfolded when 6 75 to 50 kg gas cylinders were being unloaded from a mini truck at a gas station. The spark of disaster ignited, consuming everything in its path, including the mini truck. As the flames leaped across the street, the devastation spread, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The cause was a single compromised cylinder head, a tiny flaw with catastrophic consequences. Today, the community mourns the loss of livelihoods as the echoes of this tragedy reverberate through the hearts of all affected. And to another sad development, a fire outbreak from a gas explosion has burned down the complete female hostel block in the Yobe State University, Damaturu, on Tuesday night. Reports say the fire, which started at about 19 o'clock on Tuesday, was from a gas cylinder explosion in the building. It was gathered that 8 traumatized female students have been hospitalized in both University Hospital and Specialist Hospital in Damaturu, as no life was lost. Confirming the incident, the management of the State University said the outbreak happened at the new females hostel of the university. Abdulmomin Kolo Gulani, who released the statement, said the inferno has been put under control by men of the YSU and the Yobe State Fire Service. Meanwhile, Governor Mai Mala Buni of the state has commiserated with the management and students of the Yobe State University over the fire inferno that consumed the female hostel. Governor Buni, in a statement by his Director General, Press and Media Affairs, Maman Mohammed, said the inferno was unfortunate and said, however, expressed gratitude that no life was lost. This is a news update on Trust TV. Still ahead. Nigerians blame high 2024 low turnout on economic hardship. Details of this story and more to come after the break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. But if you're just joining us, this is a Trust TV News Update. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that Nigerian Senate passes vote of confidence on security chiefs after national security interaction. Police arrest notorious kidnapper, recover 9 million naira ransom payment. And on to more stories and to labor matters. The Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria has issued a notice of a nationwide strike from February 27 over unfavorable business climate. The Kogi State Chairman of Adeni Bamidele Gabriel disclosed this Tuesday in Lokoja to newsmen. He said the notice was contained in a statement issued jointly by the National President of the Association, Alhaji Mansour Umar, and the National Secretary, Mr. Jude Okafo. He said the organization is closing shops due to the multifarious increase in the prices of baking materials such as flour, sugar, yeast, vegetable oil, petrol, diesel, occasioned by subsidy removal and forex deregulation, multiple taxation via federal government agencies. The association added that the federal government effected multiple taxation burdens via agencies like NAFDAC, SON, NESRA, Consumer Protection Council, Department of Weight and Measures, among others. Despite an extension of the deadline for intending pilgrims to register for the 2024 Hajj by National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, the number of intending pilgrims has failed to reach the allocated 90,000 seats for Nigeria. The low turnout has been blamed on the economic downturn currently plaguing the nation, which depleted spending ability of the average Nigerian. Habibat Ajayi reports that with the February 12th deadline now officially passed, with Nigeria yet to meet its quota, many are worried how the country will meet its financial obligation to the Saudi authorities.
Although pilgrims from various regions were granted extra time to register, the hope of a broader participation has not been fully realized. Historically, Nigeria has consistently filled its allocated seats provided by Saudi Arabia. However, the current turnout remains sluggish, with reports citing the associated cost as a significant deterrent. In response to this concern, Hajj operators are now implementing installment payment plans to address financial difficulties.
People look beyond you having the money or you having the financial capability to do. In as much their minds picks up, they have that intention of going, they work towards it, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting. If you need to go by the percentage, the way at which they are paying. At times, who to feel as if, oh, will people be able to pay this amount? But from the account unit, you see that people are just making that payment because the interest is there and they understand the reason why they are doing this. It's not for the worldly benefit, not for any economic benefit, but it goes beyond the worldly benefits.
Amidst these challenges, a Muslim cleric advises followers to pursue lawful means to join the ranks of intending pilgrims.
When we all know the economy of the country nowadays, that, the amount is not that easy, but I want to advise the Muslims across the world that we should believe that whatever we do for the sake of Allah, no matter how it is cost, if you do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will reward us. It's not easy. Yes, we all know. So, but we believe that if you do it for the sake of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, will definitely provide for you from where you don't know, where you don't expect. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us.
As the extended deadline expires, there are concerns about whether or not NACON should proceed with the Hajj plans to Saudi Arabia in the face of the low patronage due to the harsh economy, given the fact that there is this need to meet the payments obligations to the Saudi authorities. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
As Bayelsans joined the global celebration of World Radio Day, stakeholders in the media space emphasized the enduring significance of radio in society, asserting its irreplaceable role despite the rise of social media platforms. World Radio Day, initiated by UNESCO in 2011, commemorates the remarkable impact of radio in informing, entertaining, and connecting communities worldwide for over a century.
According to Onyis Ingrebido, the business manager at Silverbird Reading 94.7 FM Yanagwa, radio remains indispensable even in the digital era, serving as the most accessible means to reach diverse audiences instantaneously.
I don't think radio can die. Even with the advent of social media, radio cannot die. Even with your so-called transistor or so-called smartphones, you can get the radio and at any convenience. Even in your farm, you can just get a device and tune to the radio. Even our old women at the village, they easily tune to radio. Go to the north, you see so many of the northerners. They're with radio, 24 hours with radio. They are not on the social media, but they are with radio 24 hours, listening to what is happening all over the world, if such things ever happen. So the radio has have that potential to convince the public to believe in the radio, to believe in any system that the radio propagates. So I believe the radio still have that tendency to convince the public.
Similarly, Amanana Way Icon, program manager of People's 93.1 FM, and Gracious Fenana, a broadcast journalist, underscored the economic challenges and issues of patronage confronting radio stations.
World Radio Day, it is extra special because it's the one day where it reminds you of how impactful the job that we do is as broadcasters, especially on radio. When you see news or you hear news on social media, whichever one it is, look at it and say, okay. But when you hear it on radio, there is that unshakable authenticity that comes with what you hear on radio. And that's why radio is so special, that they create space in their lives, in their schedules every single day for the programs that come on radio. And normal economic challenge that we're facing right now.
Now is a time where a lot of persons are talking about economic downturn, and you still hear when clients, you tell them that, oh, diesel has skyrocketed, and then other things as well where we use in the station. But you still hear clients complain, oh, there is no money, and they want to price you down.
This year's theme, Radio, a century informing, entertaining, and educating, highlights radio's continued relevance and adaptation to the digital age. From Yanagwa, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yanagwa.
In the wake of the tragic helicopter crash in California, United States of America, that claimed the lives of Herbert Wigwe, the esteemed Group Chief Executive Officer of Access Holdings, and other prominent individuals, the National Transportation Safety Board has pledged to deliver a preliminary report within 4 weeks. Michael Graham, a board member at NTSB, shared this update during a press briefing, assuring that the report would offer initial insights into the circumstances surrounding the accident, the loss of Wigwe, his wife Doreen, their son Chizi, and Abimola Ogunbanjo, former group chairman of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, has deeply shaken their community. The Airbus helicopter EC-130B4 carrying them met a tragic fate at a border town between California and Nevada, claiming the lives of all 6 occupants, including the crew members. As the NTSB's investigation progresses behind the scenes, the nation mourns, and Wigwe's kinsmen have declared an 8-day mourning period to honor his memory. On the international scene, tragedy struck on the Congo River near Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo on Monday as 2 boats collided, resulting in the loss of dozens of lives and leaving several individuals missing. In the aftermath of the collision, harrowing scenes unfolded as residents looked on in shock, while rescue efforts were underway by small boats. Survivors remains uncertain, as does the cause of the collision, involving boats laden with passengers and cargo. Rivers serve as crucial arteries for transportation in the vast expanse of the Central African nation, given its inadequate road infrastructure. Unfortunately, such accidents are not uncommon due to overloading by boat crews. The majority of river traffic is managed by informal operators, contributing to lax adherence to maritime regulations. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you for your time. Join us again.